Let's continue with Year 4, Homework 13, picking up right where we left off, and going through each question step by step, just like a teacher would in class. Question 1. We're focusing on the word tradition here, and the question asks, which of these options is not a tradition? A. A family goes to an amusement park every bank holiday weekend. B. Every year on December 1st, a town puts lights on a Christmas tree. C. A woman talks to her mother on the phone once in a while. D. A man goes out to lunch with coworkers every Friday. The correct answer is C. Now, a tradition is something that we do regularly at a specific time or on a specific occasion. It's like a habit that we all share. For example, we might have a family dinner every Sunday. Now, if the woman talks to her mother once in a while, this is not at a set time, therefore it is not a tradition. So C is the correct answer. Question 2. This question asks us to think about what the narrator is assuming the reader knows or feels. It says, in paragraph 1, the narrator assumes that the reader A. Does not usually watch movies with their family. B. Does not know what a tradition is. C. Will not understand why her family watches horror movies. D. Will find her family's tradition unusual. The answer here is D. The narrator mentions that their family has a tradition that might seem strange. This tells us that the narrator thinks the reader might find this tradition unusual or different. So the correct answer is D. Question 3. Now we need to remember what the passage said about the father. The question is, according to the passage, as a boy and teenager, the father would go see horror movies. A. When his parents went bowling. B. When his parents would watch football games. C. Every single Friday night. D. On Sunday nights with his family. The answer is A. The passage tells us that the father's parents went bowling once a month on a Friday night, and that's when the cinema showed scary movies, and that's when he'd go watch them. So option A is the correct answer. Question 4. For this question, we're thinking about the overall structure of the passage. Which of the following best describes the layout of this passage? A. The narrator argues that traditions are important, and then proves it with a family tradition. B. The narrator introduces traditions generally, then describes a specific tradition, how it started, and what it currently involves. C. The narrator lists her family traditions, before describing one in more detail, and why it's a worthy tradition. D. The narrator describes a specific tradition and argues that it's unique. The answer is B. The passage first talks about traditions in general, before describing the narrator's specific tradition. Then it explains how the tradition came about and how they still do it now. So the answer is B. Question 5. Here we're looking at why the narrator thinks their tradition is good. The narrator suggests that watching horror movies with her family is good because A. She does not get to see her whole family together very often. B. She now understands that what happens in scary movies is not real. C. The tradition has helped teach her how to share. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. The passage explains that movie night brings the family together, helps them learn that scary movies are not real, and teaches them how to share movies and snacks. So it is all of the options. Question 6. This question focuses on the title of the passage, In Service. It's not a great title, so we're asked to imagine we are adding a subtitle that summarizes the passage. Which of these options would be the best summary? A. How a handicapped girl struggles to perform daily activities on her own. B. How a specially trained dog provides assistance to a handicapped girl. C. How Sam helps Mona to complete her everyday tasks at school. D. How a service dog brings a handicapped girl closer to her classmates. The best answer is B. The passage focuses on how Sam, the service dog, helps Mona with her daily life. While the other options are related to the story, B best summarizes it. Question 7. This question is asking us, what is a service dog based on the passage? The question says, using the passage as a guide, which of the following is most likely a service dog? A. Frank's dog, who turns on the lights when Frank enters the room. B. Raoul's dog, who fetches the newspaper for Raoul while he is busy getting dressed. C. Meiji's dog, who licks Meiji's face when she cries. D. Teddy's dog, who loves to play catch, go on walks, and watch movies with the family. The correct answer is A. Service dogs help people with disabilities, so a dog that turns on the lights would be very helpful for someone that needed assistance, so it's most likely to be a service dog. Question 8. The question asks, according to the passage, how does Sam help Mona? And the options are A. Helping her to walk. B. Performing everyday tasks for her. C. Bringing her closer to her classmates. Or D. All of the above. Now, the correct answer here is D. All of the above. The passage tells us that Sam helps Mona in many ways. This includes helping her to walk, assisting her with her daily tasks, and also, really importantly, helping her to connect and socialize with her classmates. So, Sam is a very helpful character. Question 9. This question is about a literary device. It says, in paragraph 4, the author writes, Mona's classmates flock around Sam like geese. Which of the following literary devices is used in this sentence? Your options are A. Allusion, B. Personification, C. Irony, or D. Simile. The answer is D. Simile. Remember, a simile is a figure of speech that compares two different things using the words like or as. In this case, it compares how the classmates move to how geese move. So that's a simile. Question 10. Here we're looking at vocabulary. It asks, as used in paragraph 1, the word unique most nearly means. Your choices are A. Honest, B. Special, C. Confusing, or D. Colorful. The best answer here is B. Special. The passage uses the word unique to describe how each flag is different from the others. So, unique in this context means special or one of a kind. Question 11. This question asks, according to the passage, which part of the flag runs along the outside edge? Your options are A. The field, B. The hoist, C. The canton, or D. The fly. The answer is D. The fly. The fly is the part of the flag that flaps in the wind and is, therefore, the outermost edge. Question 12. Next, we have a question about the purpose of a paragraph. It asks, the main purpose of paragraph 2 is to, and your options are A. Describe the different parts of a flag. B. Explain how the flag was invented. C. Tell how flags are used in battle. Or D. Discuss what makes a good flag. The correct choice is A. Describe the different parts of a flag. Paragraph 2 gives us the definitions of terms like hoist, field, fly, and canton, which are all parts of a flag. Question 13. This is a question about specific information in the text. According to the passage, which country has a square flag? Your options are A. United States of America, B. Cameroon, C. Nepal, or D. Switzerland. The answer is D. Switzerland. The passage points out that most flags are rectangular, but Switzerland is an exception and has a square flag. Question 14. This question asks, what is the meaning of the blue stripes on the flag of El Salvador? The options are A. They represent peace. B. They represent courage. C. They represent oceans. Or D. They represent unity. The answer is C. They represent oceans. The passage explains that the blue stripes on the flag of El Salvador are there to symbolize the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans that surround the country. Question 15. This question asks, which question does this passage answer? And the choices are A. What is a canton? Cake. Cake. B. Who designed Iraq's flag? Cakequake. Cake. 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 Cakequake. Kiko. C. How are flags made? Cake. Cake. The best answer here is C. How are flags made? The passage discusses what the different parts of the flag are called and how they are structured, which makes that the most relevant question it answers. And finally, we have the start of a Clomoise exercise. Question 16. It says, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain is an 1876 novel about a young boy up along the Mississippi River. The correct answer here is growing. So the sentence should read, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain is an 1876 novel about a young boy growing up along the Mississippi River. The explanation is that the novel is indeed about the adventures and experiences of Tom Sawyer as he goes through his childhood while growing up along the Mississippi River in the 1840s. Question 17. Tom skips school to go swimming, and as a consequence, he is made to whitewash the fence the next day. This is a form of what? The correct answer is punishment. That's right, it's a punishment. Tom was being punished for skipping school. He was made to do a chore, which was painting the fence. But Tom, being clever, tricked his friends into doing the work for him. Can you imagine that? Question 18. Now, Tom falls in love with Becky Thatcher, who is a new girl in town. He persuades her to get engaged by kissing him. How sweet. But Their what collapses when she learns that Tom has been engaged previously to another girl named Amy Lawrence. The correct answer is romance. Yes, their romance collapses. Becky feels betrayed because Tom had another romantic attachment before, which led to their falling out. That is not good. Question 19. Tom and his friend Huck happen to witness a group of body snatchers. These body snatchers are Dr. Robinson, Muff Potter, and Injun Joe. They get into what? Where Robinson is unfortunately murdered by Injun Joe? The correct answer is fight. The boys secretly witness a violent fight in the graveyard where Dr. Robinson is killed. That's scary. Question 20. Joe is sneaky and pins the murder on Muff Potter, but the boys know that Muff is actually innocent. At Muff Potter's trial, Tom speaks out, and Joe escapes through a window before he can be what? The correct answer is apprehended. That means before he can be caught. Injun Joe escapes before he can be caught, which makes Tom and Huck fearful because they are worried about him seeking revenge. Question 21. Now, Tom is bored by school, so Tom, his best friend Joe Harper, and Huck run away to an island in the Mississippi called Jackson's Island. While they are enjoying their newfound what? They become aware that the community is searching the river for their bodies. The correct answer is freedom. That's right, they are enjoying their newfound freedom because they think they have escaped their responsibilities, when in fact their town is looking for them because they think they are gone. Question 22. Tom sneaks back home one night to see what's going on. After a moment of remorse because his loved ones are suffering, he is what by the idea of showing up at his own funeral? The correct answer is struck. Yes, he is struck, meaning he suddenly has a realization that he could make a dramatic appearance by showing up at his own funeral. What a crazy idea. Question 23. The trio carries out this crazy plan by making a very surprising entrance in the church in the middle of their joint. What? The correct answer is funeral. That's right, the town believes that the boys are dead, so they return during their funeral service, which shocks everyone. Question 24. Summer comes around and Tom and Huck go looking for buried treasure in a haunted house. After what upstairs, they hear a noise below. The correct answer is venturing. Yes, they are venturing, meaning they are exploring the haunted house, taking risks in the hope of finding some hidden treasure. Question 25. From their hiding spot, Tom and Huck watch as Injun Joe and his companion discover an even what gold hoard buried in the cave and try to locate a better hiding place. The correct answer is greater. That's right, the boys witness the discovery of a large treasure, which makes the adventure so much more exciting. Now let's move on to adjectives. Question 26. The cat had what eyes? The correct answer is pretty. So the word pretty describes the look of the cat's eyes, and that makes it an adjective. Question 27. Mark has what legs? The correct answer is long. The word long describes the length of Mark's legs, which makes it an adjective. Question 28. She cut her hand on the what log? The correct answer is rough. The word rough describes the texture of the log, and this makes it an adjective. Now let's look at capital letters and full stops. Question 29. Which sentence is correctly capitalized? A. Dear Mom and Dad, or B. Dear Mom and Dad. The correct answer is B. The sentence B is correct because Mom and Dad are proper nouns, and we need to capitalize them when we are referring to them by name. Question 30. Which sentence is correctly capitalized? A. I have now been on Earth for 2 weeks. Or B. I have now been on Earth for 2 weeks. The correct answer is B. The sentence B is correct because I must always be capitalized, and Earth is a proper noun, so we must capitalize that too. Question 31. Which sentence is correctly capitalized? A. It is very different to Inco. Or B. It is very different to Inco. The correct answer is B. The sentence B is correct because it must be capitalized at the beginning of a sentence, and Inco is a proper noun, so that has to be capitalized too. Question 32. Which sentence is correctly capitalized? A. People drive around in metal boxes. Or B. People drive around in metal boxes. The correct answer is B. The sentence B is correct because metal boxes should not be capitalized unless we are talking about something specific. Question 33. Which sentence is correctly capitalized? A. Food is eaten by putting it in your face. Or B. Food is eaten by putting it in your face. The correct answer is A. The sentence A is correct because food should be capitalized as it is the beginning of a sentence. Question 34. Which sentence is correctly capitalized? A. Water falls out of the sky a lot. Or B, water falls out of the sky a lot? The correct answer is A. The sentence A is correct because the sentence must end with a full stop in order to have proper punctuation. Now let's move on to grammar and punctuation. Question 35. Select the correct capitalization. A, I miss you all, or B, I miss you all. The correct answer is B. The sentence B is correct, as we need to end the sentence with a full stop for proper punctuation. Question 36. Select the correct capitalization. A, love from Luvakas, or B, love from Luvakas. The correct answer is A. The sentence A is correct because love must be capitalized as it is the beginning of a phrase. Question 37. How many commas are in this sentence? You had to get cucumber, apples, potatoes, and garlic. The correct answer is 2. Explanation. In this sentence, we're listing items and we use commas to separate them. So we have commas after cucumber and apples, but we don't use a comma before and. Question 38. How many commas are in this sentence? Dave's mom shouldn't have bought the cake, milk, and biscuits. The correct answer is 1. Explanation. Here, there's only one comma needed because we have the cake, and then we have a combo item of milk and biscuits, so only one comma is needed to separate them correctly. Question 39. How many commas are in this sentence? We need plums, peaches, and pears, shouted Kim. The correct answer is 2. Explanation. Just like in the first example, we need commas after plums and peaches to separate the items in our list before the and. Question 40. How many commas are in this sentence? Maliv brought the knives and forks. The correct answer is 0. Explanation. This sentence has only 2 things that Maliv brought, so because of that, we don't need any commas between the 2 items. Question 41. Rewrite this sentence with commas in the correct places. My hobbies are football and skateboarding and tennis and climbing. The correct answer is C. My hobbies are football, skateboarding, tennis, and climbing. Explanation. The answer places commas correctly to separate each item in our list, which is our hobbies, before the and. Question 42. Rewrite this sentence with commas in the correct places. My parrot is red, blue, and green and yellow. The correct answer is B. My parrot is red, blue, green, and yellow. Explanation. We need to separate each color with a comma to clearly identify the colors of the parrot, except for the last one, which is linked with and. Question 43. Rewrite this sentence with commas in the correct places. I like fish and chips and pizza and Chinese food and curries. The correct answer is D. I like fish and chips, pizza, Chinese food, and curries. Explanation. The correct sentence uses commas to separate our food items, which helps us understand the list of food better, and is correctly placed. Angles and math. Question 44. How many angles are there in the first diagram? The correct answer is 0. Explanation. If you just have a straight line, there are no angles. For an angle, we need at least 2 lines to meet at a point. Question 45. How many angles are there in the second diagram? The correct answer is 1. Explanation. In the diagram, there is a single bend where the 2 lines meet, which forms one angle. Question 46. How many angles are there in the third diagram? The correct answer is 4. Explanation. The shape shown has 4 bends, which are the 4 angles we can count. Question 47. How many angles are there in the fourth diagram? The correct answer is 1. Explanation. In this diagram, there is 1 bend, which makes the 1 angle. Question 48. How many angles are there in the fifth diagram? The correct answer is 0. Explanation. The fifth diagram is just a curve. Angles need 2 lines to meet, so a curve does not have an angle. Question 49. A quarter turn is equal to how many right angles? The correct answer is 1. Explanation. A quarter turn is a 90-degree angle, and we call that 1 right angle. Question 50. A half turn is equal to how many right angles? The correct answer is 2. Explanation. If a quarter turn is 1 right angle, a half turn would be 2 90-degree angles, therefore 2 right angles. Question 51. A 3/4 turn is equal to how many right angles? The correct answer is 3. Explanation. Continuing with our pattern, if half a turn is 2, then a 3/4 turn will be 3 right angles. Question 52. A full turn is equal to how many right angles? The correct answer is 4. Explanation. And finally, a full turn goes all the way around and is made up of 4 right angles. Question 53. Match the angle with the correct degree. The first angle shown represents which degree? The correct answer is 270 degrees. C. Explanation. A 270-degree angle is 3/4 of a full turn. Question 54. Match the angle with the correct degree. The second angle shown represents which degree? The correct answer is 90 degrees. A. Explanation. A 90-degree angle forms a perfect L shape or right angle. Question 55. Match the angle with the correct degree. The third angle shown represents which degree? The correct answer is 360 degrees. D. Explanation. This means a full circle and a full turn, which is 360 degrees. Question 56. Match the angle with the correct degree. The fourth angle shown represents which degree? The correct answer is 180 degrees. B. Explanation. This is a flat straight line angle, which is 180 degrees. Question 57. Match the angle with the correct label. The first angle shown is, the correct answer is acute angle. Explanation. An acute angle is any angle smaller than 90 degrees. Think of it as acute small angle. Question 58. Match the angle with the correct label. The second angle shown is, the correct answer is right angle. Explanation. A right angle is exactly 90 degrees, like the corner of a piece of paper or book. Question 59. Match the angle with the correct label. The third angle shown is, the correct answer is obtuse angle. Explanation. An obtuse angle is bigger than a right angle, more than 90 degrees, but smaller than a straight line, less than 180 degrees. Question 60. Match the angle with the correct label. The fourth angle shown is, the correct answer is obtuse angle. Explanation. This angle is bigger than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees, which means it is an obtuse angle. Question 61. Match the angle with the correct label. The fifth angle shown is, the correct answer is acute angle. Explanation. This angle is smaller than 90 degrees, making it an acute angle. Question 62. An acute angle has a greater turn than an obtuse angle. Is this statement true? The correct answer is never true. Explanation. An acute angle is always smaller than an obtuse angle, so it can never have a bigger turn. Question 63. An obtuse angle has a greater turn than a right angle. Is this statement true? The answer is always true. Think of it this way. A right angle is like the corner of a square. It's exactly 90 degrees. An obtuse angle, on the other hand, is bigger than that. It has a wider turn, so it's always larger than a right angle. Question 64. A straight line is an obtuse angle. Is this statement true? This statement is never true. A straight line forms a 180-degree angle, which we call a straight angle. An obtuse angle is bigger than a right angle, which is 90 degrees, but smaller than a straight angle, so it's definitely not a straight line. Question 65. If you put two acute angles together, will you have an obtuse angle? The answer is sometimes true. Remember that an acute angle is any angle smaller than 90 degrees. If you combine two small acute angles, you might not reach over 90 degrees. But if you combine two larger acute angles, then their total could exceed 90 degrees and form an obtuse angle. Question 66. If you put four acute angles together, will you have an obtuse angle? This is also sometimes true. Just like with two angles, it depends on how big each of the four acute angles are. If they're all very small, their total may be less than 90 degrees, or it could be more. And if their total goes past 180 degrees, then it is no longer an obtuse angle. Question 67. If you have an obtuse angle, will you end up with an acute angle? This is always true. An obtuse angle is always greater than 90 degrees and less than 180 degrees. If you cut an obtuse angle exactly in half, that new angle will always be smaller than 90 degrees, which is what makes it an acute angle. Question 68. Solve. 250 degrees plus what equals 360 degrees? The correct answer is 110 degrees, because 250 plus 110 is 360, and that makes a full circle. Question 69. Solve. 240 degrees plus what equals 360 degrees? The answer here is 120 degrees. If we add 120 to 240, it equals 360 degrees, which is a full circle turn. Question 70. Solve. 230 degrees plus what equals 360 degrees? The correct answer is 130 degrees. You need 130 more degrees to make 360 when starting from 230. Question 71. Solve. 20 degrees plus what equals 360 degrees? The answer is 340 degrees. Imagine you've turned 20 degrees already. To make a full circle, you need another 340 degrees. Question 72. Solve. 360 degrees minus 50 degrees equals what? The answer is 310 degrees. When you subtract 50 degrees from a full circle of 360 degrees, you are left with 310 degrees. Question 73. Solve. 360 degrees minus 60 degrees equals what? The answer is 300 degrees. If you take away 60 degrees from 360 degrees, you get 300 degrees. Question 74. Solve. 360 degrees minus 70 degrees equals what? The answer is 290 degrees. 360 degrees minus 70 degrees equals 290 degrees. Question 75. Solve. 360 degrees minus 210 degrees equals what? The answer is 150 degrees. So if you have a full circle of 360 degrees and you remove 210 degrees, you're left with 150 degrees. Question 76. Solve. 360 degrees minus 25 degrees equals what? The answer is 335 degrees. Starting with 360 degrees, if you subtract 25 degrees, the answer is 335 degrees. Question 77. Calculate the missing angle in the first triangle. The answer is 62 degrees. Remember that all the angles inside any triangle always add up to 180 degrees. We know two of the angles are 80 degrees and 38 degrees. Add those two together to get 118 degrees, then subtract that from 180 degrees to get 62 degrees. Question 78. Calculate the missing angle in the second triangle. The answer is 50 degrees. Just like the last triangle, all the angles have to add to 180 degrees. Here, we have angles of 30 degrees and 100 degrees, which together is 130 degrees. So the remaining angle must be 180 minus 130, which is 50 degrees. Question 79. Calculate the missing angle in the third triangle. The answer is 35 degrees. Again, all three angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Here, two of the angles are 85 degrees and 60 degrees, which adds up to 145 degrees. The missing angle is then 180 minus 145, which is 35 degrees. Question 80. Calculate the missing angle in the fourth triangle. The answer is 45 degrees. The angles in a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. In this triangle, we have a 45-degree angle and a 90-degree angle, which is 135 degrees. The missing angle must be 180 minus 135, which is 45 degrees.
Let's move on to NVR. And this is pretty similar actually, because you're given two questions, two objects which are similar. So again, you have to find a rule between these two, and then you just apply that rule and find which option it matches. So if you think about what the rule is here, what's similar, what's the same between these two, right? They both have a straight line. It's not curved, right? It's straight. And they both have a square on them. So we're just gonna apply that to here. Which ones have a straight line and a square? It's C. Here we have, they're both triangles, so it's just gonna be E. Again, always just think for the rule between these two, right? So what's similar between these two? Well, it's quite difficult to find something. So they're not the same shape. The one has curves and one has straight lines, but they both have the same pattern. So I'm just going to assume same pattern. There we go. It's D. Similar between these two. There is a star. Nothing else really that you can see. So I'm just going to choose the one with the star, which is A. What's similar between these two? They both have four sides. Which one has four sides? A. What's similar between these two? They both have a grey circle. Choose the one with the grey circle. What's similar between these two? Both grey arrows. Should choose the one with the same pattern. Which similar between these two? One has a curve. They both have curves, and they both have straight lines. So I'm going to look for something that has a curve and straight lines. This one only has curves. This one only has curves, no straight lines, no straight lines, no straight lines, so I'm going to choose B. So this one, what's similar? They both have 4 sides and they both have this pattern. So I'm going to look for something. Okay, none of these have 4 sides, so that can't be the rule. It's probably going to be something to do with the pattern, right? And C has the same pattern.
Moving on to question 91. Question 91. Solve 13 minus 7, where 13 to 7 equals underscore, 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 underscore. Now, when we subtract 7 from 13, we are taking away 7 from 13. So what are we left with? The correct answer is 6. Because when you take 7 away from 13, you have 6 left. Question 92. Solve 4 times 3, or 4 times 3 equals underscore, 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 underscore. When we multiply 4 by 3, we are adding 4 to itself 3 times, so 4 plus 4 plus 4. The correct answer is 12, because if you count by 4s 3 times, you get 12. Question 93. Solve 10 divided by 2, or 10 divided by 2 equals underscore, underscore, underscore. Now, dividing 10 by 2 means we are splitting 10 into 2 equal groups. So what is in each group? The correct answer is 5. Because if we divide 10 by 2, each group has 5. Question 94. Solve 9 divided by 3, or 9 divided by 3 equals underscore, 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 underscore. When we divide 9 by 3, it is like splitting 9 into 3 equal groups. The correct answer is 3, because if we divide 9 by 3, each group has 3. Question 95. Solve 6 times 2, or 6 times 2 equals underscore, 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 underscore. Multiplying 6 by 2 is the same as adding 6 to itself twice. What is that equal to? The correct answer is 12, because if you add 6 to itself 2 times, you get 12. Question 96. Solve 10 minus 5 equals 3 plus underscore, 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 underscore. So first, what is 10 minus 5? That equals 5. Now we have 5 equals 3 plus what? The correct answer is 2, because 3 plus 2 equals 5. Question 97. Solve 15 to 9 equals 10. Underscore, underscore, underscore. So let's figure out what 15 minus 9 is first. That's 6. So now 6 equals 10 minus what number? The correct answer is 4, because 10 minus 4 equals 6. Question 98. Solve 10 minus 6 equals 3 plus underscore, underscore, underscore. Okay, let's solve 10 to 6. That equals 4. So now we have 4 equals 3 plus what? The correct answer is 1, because 3 plus 1 equals 4. Question 99. Solve 14 plus 1 equals 3 times underscore, 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 underscore. What is 14 plus 1? That's 15. So we need to find what number, when multiplied by 3, gives 15. The correct answer is 5, because 3 times 5 equals 15. Question 100. Solve 9 times 2, or 9 times 2 equals 15 plus underscore, 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 underscore. First, we solve 9 times 2. 9 times 2 equals 18. Now, we have 18 equals 15 plus what? The correct answer is 3, because 15 plus 3 equals 18. Okay, now let's switch gears to a reading comprehension section called Are You Getting Enough ZZZs? Question 101. Name 3 things you can do to stay healthy. Well, according to the reading, the 3 things we need are eating good food, getting exercise, and getting enough sleep. This is important because those 3 things help your body be strong and healthy. Question 102. What does blue light do? Well, according to the reading, blue light helps keep you awake. The passage talks about how the blue light from the sun and from screens can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime, which can make it harder to sleep. Question 103. How do you think getting 10 hours of sleep a night could help someone your age? Well, the passage tells us that getting 10 hours of sleep helps your body stay healthy, grow properly, and have more energy during the day. Sleep is very important for growing kids. Question 104. Do you really have a 24-hour clock inside your body? Why do you think the author used the idea of a clock to describe what happens? According to the reading, no, you don't have an actual clock inside your body, but your body does follow a daily rhythm that is similar to a clock. The author used the idea of a clock because our sleep and wake cycle goes on a pattern every 24 hours, just like a clock does. Question 105. Do you think kids should have a regular bedtime? Explain your thinking. Yes, according to the passage, kids should have a regular bedtime because having a regular bedtime helps the body get used to a sleep schedule. So going to bed at the same time every night makes it easier for you to fall asleep and stay healthy. Now let's move on to the adjective section. Question 106. The shiny diamond sparkled in the bright sun. Identify the adjectives. The adjectives in this sentence are shiny and bright. Shiny describes the diamond and bright describes the sun. Question 107. The calm penguin looked around the pebbly beach. Identify the adjectives. The adjectives in this sentence are calm and pebbly. Calm describes the penguin and pebbly describes the beach. Question 108. The huge elephant drank from the murky water hole. Identify the adjectives. The adjectives here are huge and murky. Huge describes the elephant, and murky describes the water hole. Question 109. The small dog has fluffy brown fur. Identify the adjectives. The adjectives in this sentence are small, fluffy, and brown. Small describes the dog, while fluffy and brown describe the fur. Question 110. Identify the adjectives in the paragraph. Okay, the adjectives in the paragraph are early, first, warm, sunny, nice, happy, excited, big, tasty, homemade, quick, small, sandy, thatched, clear, blue, sweet, joyful, tiny, dusty, eager, broad, and calm. Adjectives are describing words that make the text more vivid and detailed. Question 1. 11 asks us to rewrite Lou Vacas's postcard with correct capitalization and punctuation. The corrected postcard should read, Dear Capri and Mystic, hi from Earth. I am having a lovely time. I have been staying with 2 children called Sarah and David. They have taught me a lot about the world. Here, you use bits of metal to eat with, and you sleep lying down. I hope you are well. See you soon, Lou Vacas. As you can see, we've made sure to capitalize the names of people like Capri, Mystic, Sarah, David, and Lou Vacas. We have also added commas to make the sentences easier to read and to make sense. It's very important to make sure that we use capital letters and commas correctly. Moving on to angles and missing angles. Question 1. 1-2 asks us to color in the largest angle in each diagram. The correct answer is that the largest angles have been shaded in each diagram. When we are looking at angles, the largest angle is the one that has the biggest opening. Like if you were to open a door very wide, that would be a big angle. Question 113, which is similar, asks us to color in the largest angle in each diagram again. The correct answer is, once more, that the largest angles have been shaded in each diagram. Remembering that when you're trying to identify the largest angle you need to compare all of the angles and select the one with the widest opening. Questions 114 to 118 ask us to draw the right angle symbol onto each right angle in the drawings. The correct answer is that the right angles have been marked correctly with the right angle symbol. A right angle is exactly 90 degrees. It's a very specific type of angle, and we always mark it with a little square at the corner of the angle. Question 119 asks us to fill in the type of angle created by the hands of the clock. The correct answer is acute. The hands of the clock create an angle smaller than 90 degrees, which is classified as an acute angle. This is an angle which is less than a right angle. Question 120 asks us to fill in the type of angle created by the hands of the clock. The correct answer here is obtuse. The hands of the clock create an angle larger than 90 degrees, but smaller than 180 degrees, which makes it an obtuse angle. Question 121 asks us to fill in the type of angle created by the hands of the clock. The correct answer here is right. The hands of the clock create an exact 90-degree angle, which, as we said before, is called a right angle. Question 122, again, asks us to fill in the type of angle created by the hands of the clock. The correct answer is right. The hands form a perfect 90-degree angle. Question 123 asks us to fill in the type of angle created by the hands of the clock. The correct answer is acute. This angle is smaller than 90 degrees, so we call it an acute angle. Question 124 asks us to fill in the type of angle created by the hands of the clock. The correct answer here is obtuse. The angle is larger than 90 degrees, but smaller than 180 degrees, which makes it an obtuse angle. Finally, question 125 asks us to check the two angles that fit together to form a straight line. The correct answer is that the correct angle pairs have been ticked. Remember that two angles that add up to 180 degrees form a straight line, and when two angles make a straight line, they are called supplementary angles. Question 126. Question 126. Circle the two angles that fit together to form a straight line. The correct answer is 120 degrees and 60 degrees. Now, a straight line, like a ruler laid flat, measures 180 degrees. So when you add 120 degrees and 60 degrees, they equal 180 degrees, making a straight line. Question 127. Circle the two angles that fit together to form a straight line. The answer here is 30 degrees and 150 degrees. Just like before, when we add these two angles, 30 degrees and 150 degrees, the total is 180 degrees, which makes a nice straight line. Question 128. Circle the two angles that fit together to form a straight line. This time, it's 80 degrees and 100 degrees. If you combine these two angles, you get 180 degrees, which, as we know, is the measurement of a straight line. Question 129. Circle the two angles that fit together to form a straight line. For this one, it's 20 degrees and 160 degrees. Adding 20 degrees to 160 degrees gives us 180 degrees. This means they form, you guessed it, a straight line. Question 130. Circle the two angles that fit together to form a straight line. The correct angles are 45 degrees and 135 degrees. When you add 45 degrees and 135 degrees together, you will see that it equals 180 degrees, which again creates a straight line. Question 131. Calculate the missing angle. The answer is 30 degrees. You see, the whole line is 180 degrees, and if we know one part is 150 degrees, we can find the missing part by taking 150 degrees away from 180 degrees. So 180 degrees minus 150 degrees equals 30 degrees. Question 132. Calculate the missing angle. The answer here is 140 degrees. To find this, we know that a straight line is 180 degrees, and we subtract the given angle of 40 degrees. 180 degrees minus 40 degrees equals 140 degrees. That's the missing piece. Question 133. Calculate the missing angle. This one is 80 degrees. Again, we use our knowledge that a straight line is 180 degrees. So we take the given 100 degrees away from 180 degrees and get 80 degrees. That's our missing angle. Question 134. Calculate the missing angle. The missing angle is 150 degrees. We know a straight line is 180 degrees, so we do 180 minus 30 degrees, which equals 150 degrees. Question 135. Calculate the missing angle. The correct answer here is 110 degrees. We can see that there are two angles, 50 and 20, which add up to 70 degrees. Because we know the straight line is 180 degrees, we take 70 from 180 to give us 110. Question 136. Calculate the missing angle. The answer is 120 degrees. Again, we see that there are two angles, 30 and 30. We add these together to give us 60 degrees. Finally, we take this away from 180, which will equal 120 degrees. Question 137. Calculate the missing angle. This is 60 degrees. A straight line is 180 degrees. We have one angle already at 120 degrees, so we must subtract that from 180, which is 60 degrees. Question 138. Calculate the missing angle. The answer is 80 degrees. Using our straight line of 180 degrees, we subtract the other angle 100 degrees, and we get 80 degrees. Question 139. Draw lines to match each diagram with the correct missing angle. The correct answer is 210 degrees. These angles are all part of a full circle, which is 360 degrees. If we add up all the given angles and subtract that from 360, we will be left with 210 degrees. Question 140. Draw lines to match each diagram with the correct missing angle. This answer is 150 degrees. Again, we know the angles are part of a circle of 360 degrees. So by subtracting 210, we are left with 150 degrees. Question 141. Draw lines to match each diagram with the correct missing angle. The answer is 310 degrees. The full circle is 360. and we subtract the other angles from that, and we are left with 310. Question 142. Draw lines to match each diagram with the correct missing angle. The final answer for these types of problems is 170 degrees. We know that a circle is 360 degrees, and we know the other angles, so we just need to subtract the other angles to give us 170. Question 143. Calculate the missing angle. The answer is 170 degrees. First, we will add the angles we know together, 50 and 140 degrees, which will give us 190 degrees. Next, we know the full circle is 360 degrees, so we subtract 190 from 360 and are left with 170. Question 144. Calculate the missing angle. The answer is 160 degrees. We know the full circle is 360 degrees, and we know the other angle is 200, so we just subtract 200 from 360, and we get 160. Question 145. Calculate the missing angle. The answer is 160 degrees. Like the last question, we are trying to find the missing angle of a circle which totals 360 degrees. So you subtract the angles that are given to find the missing angle, which is 160 degrees. Question 146. Calculate the missing angle. The correct answer is 205 degrees. Again, we need to think about the full circle being 360 degrees. Once we add the other angles together, we can subtract them from the 360 degrees to give us 205 degrees. Question 147. Fill in the missing angle. The answer is 63 degrees. All the angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So we have to add the two angles we have, 27 and 90 degrees, to get 117 degrees. Then we must subtract that from 180 degrees, and that equals 63 degrees. Question 148 asks us to fill in the missing angle. The correct answer is 71 degrees. Now, how did we get that? Well, the angles inside a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. So, to find the missing angle, we first add the two known angles, which are 34 degrees and 75 degrees, giving us 109 degrees. We then subtract this total from 180 degrees, and that gives us 71 degrees. So the missing angle is 71 degrees. Let's move on to question 149. This question is similar to the last. We need to fill in the missing angle. The correct answer here is 25 degrees. To find that, we again know that the three angles in a triangle add to 180 degrees, so we need to add the two known angles, 99 degrees plus 56 degrees, which makes 155 degrees. Then we subtract 155 degrees from 180 degrees, which gives us 25 degrees. So the missing angle is 25 degrees. Question 150 asks us again to fill in the missing angle. The correct answer is 60 degrees. If we follow the same method, we know that a triangle adds up to 180 degrees, so we add the two known angles, 60 degrees plus 60 degrees. That makes 120 degrees. We subtract 120 from 180 degrees to get the final answer of 60 degrees. So the missing angle is 60 degrees. Moving on to question 151, fill in the missing angle. The answer here is 80 degrees. We know that the angles of a triangle always add up to 180 degrees, so we add the two known angles, which are both 50 degrees. That makes 100 degrees. We then subtract 100 degrees from 180 degrees, and that leaves us with 80 degrees. So the missing angle is 80 degrees. Now, question 152 asks us to calculate the missing angle in a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral is a shape with four sides and four angles. The important thing to remember here is that the angles inside a quadrilateral always add up to 360 degrees. In this question, we know three of the angles, 100 degrees, 95 degrees, and 80 degrees. Adding them together, we get 275 degrees. To find the missing angle, we subtract 275 degrees from 360 degrees, which gives us 85 degrees. So the missing angle is 85 degrees. Last question, number 153, asks us to calculate the missing angle in a quadrilateral. We know that the total of interior angles in a quadrilateral is always 360 degrees. We are given three angles, which are 60 degrees, 120 degrees, and 120 degrees. We add these together to get 300 degrees. Then we subtract that total from 360 degrees. The answer is 60 degrees. So the missing angle is 60 degrees. And that is all for today's walkthrough. Well done, and keep up the great work.